I've been wanting to move to Seattle for about a year. I love the Northwest. I love the mountains. I love the feeling I get when I see the sunrise come over the Cascades and then watch it set behind the Olympics, right? And the beautiful Puget Sound and the smell of the air and the evergreens. And it's like, I've lived there for 20 years and I've been here 20 years and I kind of want to go back, right? And I've been like visualizing that and feeling that. And some doors have opened just recently for me to go back.
Grid filling in.
Grid filling in, right? Exactly. And then my head takes over and go, but is it really filling in? It's like, are you really ready to go? Or, you know, and then some fear creeps in. It's like, okay, let go of that.
Well, maybe you're not really ready to go, but are you ready to let your grid fill in? As the grid begins to fill in with someone calling, things looking like they're lining up, it's general, it's not all lined up.
Correct.
Then the question is, should I go or shouldn't I go? And we say, too soon for that question. The question isn't, should I go? The question is, do I like the feeling of this thought? Do I like the feeling of this thought? Do I like the feeling of this thought? The grid filling in isn't asking for action. The grid filling in is preparing for the action. When it's time to go, nothing can keep you from going. And if you're still asking those questions, the grid hasn't filled in significantly enough. If you go before your grid work is done, you'll have more work to do.
Well, that's the right
It's like giving up the leverage of the universe and saying, I'll go. I know I'm not ready to let you all help me in the way I've lined you up, but I'm going anyway because I'm impatient and I'm afraid I'll miss my opportunity. So I'm going to go, and I'm willing to do it the hard way rather than the easy way, so I'm going to go prematurely.
Doggone, that's exactly it. Because I really want to go, right? But it's like, I almost feel like I'm making it happen as opposed to...
It's not the question of whether you will go or not. It's the question of the timing of it. And the timing of it hasn't got anything to do with what's going on in Seattle. The timing of it has only to do with what's going on with you vibrationally. And we're not talking about a long time. You could be ready tomorrow or the next day or a month from now. The timing is irrelevant. But what is really relevant, and this is the part that we really want you to hear.
Yeah, please.
We want the pleasure of the conscious, deliberate gridding to be as significant as the pleasure of packing up and moving to Seattle.
Can you say that again?
We want
please?
the fun of the gridding and the satisfaction of the ease that you keep accomplishing, and the evidence of the next piece and the next piece and the next piece. The journey, the journey, the journey. Your journey to Seattle is well underway long before you put your bags in your truck and haul them up there. I say.
Yes.
So, do you have to be in Seattle to experience the good feeling of the idea?
No.
So, you want to hear a little bit more about this? So, tell us again, why is Seattle calling you? And did you hear how specifically we phrased that question? Not, why are you leaving California or Los Angeles?
Why it's calling me.
It's calling you because?
I love the way it feels or what's evoked from within me emotionally when I think about being there.
So give us more. Why is Seattle calling you? What's there? What is it about that is so appealing?
Connection, evergreens, lakes.
All right, so now you're talking about manifested things. So give that to us. Lakes, evergreens.
Evergreens, mountains, sunrises, sunsets, hiking, camping, the air. I love the air up there.
So
the fall leaves, beautiful.
So there's no air here?
Oh, there's air here. Yeah.
Exactly. So in that comparison, you're not preparing the grid. If all that you were doing, that was a trap. We sucked you right into that. But if
well done.
We're really, really good at this.
Yeah, I know. To be sure.
If Seattle and its calling were the only vibration that you have going on, then you'd already be there, and the unfolding of it would be effortless and immediate. But while you can conjure that with some focus, it's things that aren't like that are here, that are more active in your vibration.
True that.
So
gotcha.
what you're actually feeling is sort of why you want to get on the road and go. It feels like what I'm observing doesn't allow me to prepare myself to be somewhere else. We'll say that again. What's happening in my now, my current what is, doesn't make it easy for me to prepare my grid in order to allow something else. Following? Because I'm such an avid observer. Because I'm used to observing and responding to what I'm observing. So I observe not such clean air, and I long for cleaner air. Or I observe too much frenzy, and I long for something simpler. Or I observe unwanted, which is making me long for something else. But the question is, in the observation, you're creating a grid that is not allowing the very thing that you want that is in the vortex to unfold easily. So a lot of times people will say, well, I'll just go there. Abraham, this is a simple world we live in. There's a road, Interstate 5 just goes right up there. And it's not even 2 days. I could be there with everything that is important to me. I could pack it up and I could go up and I could be there. And so we say, why haven't you gone? Why aren't you up there? Oh, there's other things. There are other factors that you want to come into place first. Why aren't you already there? Why don't you just pack up and go?
Yeah, I'm scared. I'm scared of making a mistake.
Because? What could possibly be wrong? There's lakes, there's mountains, there's cascades, there's air, there's all of that sweet smelling air. What could possibly go wrong?
And therein lies the me filling in the grid and then allowing the grid to fill in. And
But
it's both.
we're asking a very direct question.
Yes.
What are you afraid of? What could possibly go wrong?
In the big scheme of things, nothing. Absolutely
Then
nothing.
why don't you go? Why aren't you there?
I'll see you up there.
Wait. Wait, we're really not trying to get you to get on the road and go.
Yeah.
We want you to identify what's stuck in your vibrational craw, what's not in place. What's not in place that needs, are you saying that there's more about being there than just those things? That those are the things that are in place, but there are other things not quite yet in place?
Boy, did you nail that one. You want to hear?
Yeah.
Yeah. There's a guy up there. You knew that, didn't you? Yeah. There's a guy up there 24 years ago that I met, that I reconnected with 24 years later at Christmas time in Seattle. And when I met this guy after 24 years, to be really honest with you, and I saw him in the lobby when I was in Seattle at Christmas time, within 24 hours, like, oh, you're the one. It's you. It's you. And it was just a place of knowing. It wasn't.
And what was all that air crap?
Love you so much. Man, I just love you so much. Nailed it. All right, busted. I'm busted. That's it. You know, this guy inspires me so much in alignment in my vortex. I mean, it's just like I feel so connected to the universe.
So we're not even talking about Seattle.
Well, that was a long way around, wasn't it?
So far around. So, do you accept that? Because we know what's in your vortex.
Okay.
And Seattle and all that clean air, that's in there.
All right,
that's in
good.
there.
I'm glad.
That's
Good.
in there. But
Okay.
there's so much more that's in there. And so this is a conversation about feeling the temptation to fill in your own grid.
Absolutely.
And being wise enough to know that you can't.
Yes.
That's why you're feeling uncomfortable. And by filling in your own grid, and we don't encourage it at all, what we're really talking about is preparing yourself vibrationally, which means you've got to get off the specifics of that. Because as long as you're thinking about the specifics of it, you're going to activate things that are in the way of it that don't allow it to unfold smoothly.
Okay.
So let's go general about this.
Okay.
Because when we say go general, we're not talking about loading the truck and going. We're not talking about identifying someone that you want to be with and figuring out how to make that happen. We're not talking about stalking. we're not talking about manipulation. We're not talking about orchestration. We're not even talking about goal setting. We're talking about vibrational preparation for what's in your grid. allowing what's in your vortex to flow in. Do you understand? These are leading questions, and the answer to all of them is yes. But we want you to focus on each of them. Do you accept that through life you have carved out an ideal relationship, and that the ideal relationship is known and is in the vortex?
Yes.
Do you accept that there will be details that will unfold that are not understandable to you from where you stand, that don't need to be understandable right now, this red hot minute?
Yes.
And do you have a feeling of trust or even faith or even expectation that it will work out all right and that you don't have to manipulate it or orchestrate it? In other words, do you believe in the content of your vortex?
I sure do in this moment, yes.
Well, we can feel you. We know that you believe in the content of your vortex. We believe that about almost everyone who has been listening to us. We think that you've accepted that you've carved it out and that it's there and that the potential for the manifestation is there. In other words, we know that you believe in this vibrational reality.
Absolutely.
But where the breakdown is, not just for you but for almost everybody, is what do I need to do to prepare myself vibrationally to receive what's in my vortex? And that's why you're expressing that I feel fear, which is the same thing as saying I don't feel ready for what I want. I don't feel ready for what I want. I want to be ready for what I want, but I don't feel ready for what I want. And we want to say that's a good thing to acknowledge, and it shouldn't embarrass you. Everyone should understand they're not ready for what they want if what they want hasn't manifested yet. I'm not ready yet. I'm not if I were ready, it would already be a manifested reality. So I must not be ready. Does that hurt your feelings? You're not ready. You're not ready. You're not ready yet. You're not ready. You're not vibrationally ready. You've done step 1. You've done step 2. You still got some work to do on step 3. Now, what is the work that step 3 is asking for? What do I do to be ready? You stop worrying about not being ready, first of all. You accept that you're always going to be not ready on the next idea that you've hatched, because that's the way it is. You're always going to be reaching for something new to which you're not quite ready yet. But do you really want to eat all of the food that you will eat forevermore right now?
No.
Or do you just want to be ready for what's coming now, ready for what's coming now? So there are all kinds of things that we've been teaching you over the years, like make the best of where you are and try to find the feeling place and look for the positive aspects and make lists of things that you appreciate and meditate. In other words, every process that we've been spewing at you, and they are endless and still coming, have all been about you preparing yourself to be ready. But today we are giving you the best understanding of all. You got to go general. So you got to go general in order to create this vibrational point of receiving. So let's choose some general emotional words that are the perfect nucleus for the grid filling in with more specifics. So we're not trying to get you to Seattle, and we're not trying to get you partnered up with this person, and we're not trying to do any of those specifics. We're going to leave that to law of attraction. We're going to leave that to the perfection of the universal forces. We're going to leave that to the powers that be. We're going to leave that to the energy that creates worlds. All you need to accomplish is just a vibration that allows the universal forces to fulfill the desires that you've established. So, what is an emotional word that represents the heart of this relationship that you want? Ease.
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 Beautiful.
The relationship I want is one of ease. It's easy. It's easy to feel good. It's easy to feel at one. It's easy to like what I see. It's easy to move through my day. It's easy to be who I am. It's easy to do the work that I want to do. It's easy to be two separate people with two separate intentions through many things. It's easy to be in a relationship like that. It's easy. It's easy. It just feels comfortable. It feels comfortable to be in a relationship like this. It feels comfortable. It feels secure. It feels certain and secure and easy and comfortable. It feels real. It feels true. It feels honest and deep. It feels soul and source. It feels core. It feels basic. It feels true. It feels real. It feels good. It feels easy. It feels soft.